In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. And relationships. Relationships are very, very important for all of us, for each of the human being. And we do pay a lot of attention to it as well. We are of the view that the more and the better relationships we do have, the better our life will become. And it is true, it is true, it is true. Still, there is another type of relationship we rarely pay attention to. Rather, we have not even thought about that particular relationship, which are going to be discussed in our today's talk. That is the relationship with we ourselves. That is the relationship with none other than we ourselves. Is it like that we do need to have a kind of relationship with ourselves? As a matter of fact, we are having we are having a relationship with we ourselves as well. That's another thing, whether it is a good relationship or a bad relationship, toxic or pleasant, that's another thing. But we do have a relationship with we ourselves as well. Dear friends, that is going to be the topic of our today's discussion. And like always, we have included a very useful, very beneficial article on the subject as well. This article has been authored by Trevor Mcdonald, who is a well-known researcher and author, has written plenty of work on the subject, on the related subjects. And his article today has been captioned as 6 tips in creating a healthy relationship with yourself. 6 tips in creating a healthy relationship with yourself. That is the topic of our today's discussion. And what are those 6 tips? Recognize self talk. Recognize self talk. We are always talking with ourselves as well, not only with others, but rather we talk with ourselves. And to be true, we spend more time, much more time. For most of the time, we are seen talking, communicating with we ourselves. And now we need to look upon what kind of talk is it, what kind of this self talk is. Either it is a pleasant one, a wholesome one, or a toxic one, positive one, or a negative one. Whatever type of relationship is it, whatever type of talk is it, but a kind of talk is always going on with we ourselves. Dear friend, now we need to keep an eye whether this talk is pleasant one. As a matter of fact, we need to cleanse it. We need to cleanse it off from the toxicity. We need to make it positive. We need to make a wholesome one. But for first of all, we need to keep a strict eye upon it, and we need to analyze it as well. My dear friend, now the second thing is get to know yourself. Yes, not only that we do have to know other people, rather we do have to know ourselves well as well. What kind of this knowing of ourselves is, as a matter of fact. Now look upon, if at all a person is having a very precious, a very expensive, very costly breed of dog, what do? They do take a lot of care of it. And what if at all somebody is having the most precious vehicle, one of the most precious vehicles, what do? They do, they do, they do understand it well, and they do, they do know their product, their possession much better. They want to know it much better, because they know that if at all we know it much better, then only we will be able to take care of it in a much better way. In the same manner, I think nothing is more precious than we ourselves. Nothing is as precious as we ourselves. So for that purpose, we need to know ourselves. We, where I feel, what are the effects of different items and different experiences upon myself, and now I need to manage it. Whatever is wholesome and better, I need to retain it, I need to magnify it, I need to consolidate it. Whatever is not so pleasant, not so healthy, which is hurtful, and which is bad, I think that there we need to stop experiencing it. We need to get rid of it. There are certain addictions, each one of us having the one type or the other type of addiction. So these addictions are very very bad. I think must be we must be protecting ourselves from all types of these addictions, and we need to become a better human being. Now the third thing is practice gratitude for yourself, for your physical self. Practice gratitude for your physical self, what my physical body is doing for me, how much of the work has it done. So I need to be grateful not only to the other people, not to the other forces only, rather I need to be grateful to my physical self as well, because my physical self has done a lot of work for myself to make my life a better one. So I think that I do need to take care of it. I do need to become grateful to it. Now the fourth item is show compassion. Mean look, yani if at all we are harshly criticizing other people, what will happen that our relationship with that particular person will be spoiled. So for that purpose we need to develop the empathy, we need to develop the kind heartedness, we need to develop the compassion. So all of that, not only the compassion and the kind heartedness for other people, the empathy for other people, rather for we ourselves as well, for the other people. That's very true, that's very right thing. We don't need to be harsh with other people, we don't need to criticize other people in such a harsh manner, but at the same time we need to develop a kind of kind heartedness, a kind of empathy, and a kind of compassion for we ourselves as well, because we too deserve it, because we too need to have it for a kind of better relationship with we ourselves. Now the fifth is stop judging others. Yes, we shouldn't be judging others. Not only that, we should stop, harshly criticizing ourselves. I don't mean that we don't need to reform, we don't need to improve. Definitely, we do need to reform. We do need to become a better person. We do need to get rid of the toxicities. We do need to get rid of the bad habits. All of that is very true. But at the same time, I think it is better not to be very careless and not to be very harsh with we ourselves. At the same time, we don't have to judge other people, because judging other people, criticizing other people in a harsh manner, they too will be treating us in the same manner, and that will be bad for we ourselves. For that purpose, we should stop judging other people. And that was the number 5. Number 6 is spend time alone. Spend time. Should we spend time alone? Mean all the time alone? No, not at all. We need to do certain necessary work. We need to spend time with other people, but at the same time, without stopping all that, without spending our time in the different type of necessary work, without stopping the kind of time we spend with other people, we do need to spare a reasonable amount of time for we ourselves as well, in a solitude, so that we are able to understand ourselves better, so that we are able to relax better, we are able to heal better. This is also important. We should not be underestimating or ignoring the importance of spending the time alone, spending the time in the solitude. And I think this relationship with we ourselves, it is as important, or maybe even more important than our relationship with the other people. Thank you. Jazakallah.